Right then, you know what it is. It's the January transfer window. Nobody apparently told Manchester United this, but it is the January transfer window. So that means I'm sitting here outside Old Trafford, sort of, giving you what's going on and what's not going on. All right, I'm about 2.5 miles away. What have you been like that for? If United aren't bothering their arse to actually realise that it's a transfer window, then neither am I. I'm doing it from here. Let's talk about the ins. First up then, Zakaria. Okay, are United in for him? Don't think so. And the word on the street is from Sky, which means that someone else said it and they're just reporting it. United have cooled their interest. Was there any interest in the first place? The guy's going for £6 million. If he's going for £6 million, you either want him and you go get him, or you're not interested in him. He's not pussyfooting around here. You're not taking him out on a date. You're not having to, see if he wants to come to Nando's for a fucking half chicken and chips. It's £6 million. If you fancy him, you go get it. If you don't fancy him, you don't get him. There's no cooling of interest. And my massive drama with Zakaria in the first place was, I think he's a decent player, but decent isn't going to close the gap on City and Liverpool and Chelsea. United have got to be going for top tier players. We have squad players already. Bringing in another squad player does jack shit for us. And you know what the Glazers are like? They'll be like, we just bought you a defensive midfielder. Why do you want another one? Because the one that you just bought us isn't good enough. Why do we buy him then? He was only £6 million. We thought it was a bargain. No, it don't work like that. You got to go in and you got to make a proper signing, because you know what they're like. You have to just come in and get someone at the top and then move everyone else down a little bit. You can't just bring in someone. This isn't your Alexander Butner sort of move. You got to bring someone in that's actually going to start first choice week in, week out. Loads of people think I'm mental when I say I don't think he's much of an upgrade on McTominay. He's a different position, granted, but I don't think he's a massive upgrade on Scott McTominay. So what's the point in bringing him in? Do I think he's coming? No, I don't. 0 out of 10. In number 2 then, Haidara. Now, I actually think that there's a little bit more of substance to this, because it's seemingly someone that Ralph Rangnick wants. Obviously, United and Leipzig can quickly agree a fee, because Ralph Rangnick's going to be well aware of the value that this guy is going to be worth to the Red Bull football sort of organisation. Knows him, was involved in bringing him to Red Bull in the first place. He seemingly wants him. He's seemingly someone that's putting forward to Manchester United board. But apparently United are reluctant to back the manager. Deja vu. We're here again. So I don't think we're going to get him. £33 million was the fee that was touted from the Mirror. And again, I just don't feel like Manchester United are going to be signing anyone, regardless of who backs them. I think you've got half a chance if you can shift like 3 or 4 of them off the wage bill, and we will be talking about the outs a little bit. And this might work, but you've got to be able to bring someone in as well. And I just don't get that warm, fuzzy feeling inside that this one wants to happen. Even if Ralph Rangnick wants it to happen, I just see a reluctance from the board, which sets a horrible precedent, doesn't it? For if Ralph Rangnick's going to be going, right, here's how you rebuild this club. I want him, first and foremost. Let's get that guy in. Right? No. What do you mean, no? This is what we want. Do you want? We're going to fix the club, right? Yeah. Nah. Jesus. So are United signing Haidara? I'll caveat it and say, if some players leave quick, because there's like, 10 days left or something. If some players leave quick, you've got half a chance. Otherwise, 0 out of 10. Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice. This is in the mail. It says United want to sign one of them in the summer as they're prioritising central midfield. So I'll just get this out of the way. 0 out of 10. We're not signing both of those. I think that them two together, with someone like a Bruno as the third wheel in that, would be a brilliant midfield. I think that could really work. And I think Jude Bellingham is going to go somewhere for lots of cash. The fact that he's at Dortmund at the moment, I think another season at Dortmund ain't going to let Haaland and Jude Bellingham go in one season. They're not a prayer they're going to let them do that. And I don't think you're going to get this over the line in January. And that's what we're talking about right now. So, as I said 5 seconds ago, 0 out of 10. And Bellingham's going to cost someone £100 million, man. And this is my problem with that. I think he's a really good player with a serious prospect about him. I don't think he's a £100 million player. Not yet, at least. He might be in the future, but not yet. Righty then. We're getting into the defenders kind of territory then, and Max Kilman is the first name that's popped up. Rangnick has supposedly recommended this defender after deeming that Wan-Bissaka, Maguire and Shaw are not good enough for United. The problem is, it's been reported by 90th Minutes, who also sort of reported the might be true, might be bollocks. It's quite believable, so we're probably going to go with it. Yarn about Ralph Rangnick not really favouring Maguire, Shaw, and Wan-Bissaka. Now, from the outside, all of us probably watching United go, yeah, and I don't really favour them either. And Rangnick might have a point on that, if it's true. Trust me, it'll get better when we start talking about the outs. 0 out of fucking 10. John McGinn. Fuck me. I like John McGinn. I think he's a good standard Premier League player, shortlisted by the club, as we hope to have deals lined up in tandem of the arrival of the new manager, according to the Telegraph. For John McGinn sees Zakaria. Is he arguably an upgrade on what we've got? I think he is more of an upgrade, actually, on what we've got. Is he good enough to bridge the gap? No. Why are we bothering? This is when Fergie wanted Carlton Palmer for years. No, not good enough. Improves what we've got, but not enough to be considered a United signing, because if you sign him, you still need somebody else. At least somebody else. So I would rather go for the best we can get, not the we need a signing, you'll fucking do. It's not 10 to 2 in the morning, just grab anyone, is it? No. Don't we wait? Choose wisely. Was it buy cheap, buy twice? 0 out of 10. Righty then, let's talk about the outs. That was the ins, here's the outs. Anthony Martial. Somehow, I can only assume that these lads are watching YouTube clips or listening to dingbats on Twitter, but supposedly Barcelona, you know how much of a shit show they've been for the last 2 years, Juventus and Sevilla are all interested in a loan move if United pay a portion of his wages. Granted, it's in the sun, so it could be a load of old arse. But why should United pay his wages? This is the thing with him, right? People are defending Anthony Martial for whatever could go on with this and saying, Ralph Rangnick lied, he said he could go. Yeah, he might have said he can go. Didn't say you could go for free. As a footballer, you've got an asset and you've signed a contract worth X number of pound a week. The club are entitled to get that if another club comes in for you. Or, here's what, fuckface, lower your wage demands. Do an amendment to your contract and say, actually, if Juventus are only willing to offer me 150 grand a week, I'll go for 150 grand a week because I want to go to further my career. You can come to an agreement outside of your contract for that. You don't necessarily have to just go, well, this isn't the contract, you pay me 250 quid. I'm just going to fucking sit here and put my feet up. If you want to fucking go, show you want to go. Prove it. You know, players amend their contracts all the fucking time. Go and have a look at what fucking Kevin Moran did. Handed his signing on bonus back. I think it was Oldham he went to. Because he said, yeah, I'm not up to it. There's your signing on bonus back. I'm going to retire. Too many soft asses in the modern game. I can see Anthony Martial getting himself out before the end of the transfer window. I think Sevilla seems the most likely option. I think Barcelona and Juventus is just two names plucked out of somebody's ass, to be honest with you. But I do think there's going to have to be a negotiation or a little bit of leeway on someone's front. I don't think United should have to budge. If you want our player, you need to come to an arrangement with him about how much you're going to pay for him. Show him that you want him. How about that? Yes, it's our fault we give him a big fat wage. But if he wants to go and he wants to continue on with his career, he needs to resolve it, doesn't he? Anthony Martial to leave on loan before the end of the window. I think there's definitely a possibility of that, so I'm going to say 4 out of 10. Newcastle, Lingard. Initial loan with the possibility of a permanent deal going ahead. This is in a Telegraph. I think there's quite a few places that are linking this one. The language surrounding this one actually makes it seem like something could really happen here. I think this is something that suits all parties. I've been quite surprised at how little Jesse Lingard has actually featured under Ralph Rangnick, unless he made it clear when he came in. He was like, listen, mate, I just want to go. And Ralph Rangnick's gone, all right, sound. I'm under no obligation to play you, so I'm not gonna. But I actually thought, you look at what Jesse Lingard offers as a player, I thought Rangnick would have been all over him. But I guess he's not been. So don't know why that is, but understand Jesse's frustration in wanting to go. Doesn't seem like he's kicked up too much of a fuss, and I think he's probably going to get a move away. Newcastle, not sure that's the move for him, to be honest, but he'll probably play every single minute that he's available for, and that might give him the opportunity to move on somewhere else or make it permanent with Newcastle. Do I think he'll go before the end of the window? Yeah, I think there's still levels for this to go through and gears for this to go through, so I don't think it's done anywhere near just yet. I would say 7 out of 10 though, Jesse Lingard going out on loan this January transfer window. And finally then we've got Ekbayi to AC Milan. Loan, but United want him to go permanently. That's interesting, isn't it? And I guess we might be seeing some more quite strong sort of opinions forming and coming out of United when it's relating to these players leaving, I think. I think Rangnick's going to be hitting hard in terms of reshaping ahead of the new manager coming in, so he's able to perform the job that he wants to the best of his abilities as whatever the consultancy role is that he moves into once he finishes as a manager. And I think he's going to see a couple of youngsters moved into some prime positions ready to be first team players. But the biggest and best thing he could do, Ollie started this. Obviously, Ollie never got the opportunity to finish this, but he was starting to really roll through, getting rid of people that were no longer a use to the first team. Lukaku, moved him on, didn't want to be here, got rid of him. Wouldn't have been easy as well to bring in something for the value of Lukaku, but he did it. Same with Sanchez, got Chris Smalling off the books, got Ashley Young off the books. And we're starting to go through the process of doing that. Obviously, the likes of Bailly, the likes of Phil Jones, those were players that needed moving on. And I think Lingard probably would have found himself doing the same if Solskjaer still would have been here. And certain players were getting shunted close towards the exit. Eric Bailly's a real frustrating one, I think, because when he plays, invariably he's good, but he don't play enough. And he's equally as frustrating as the Nemanja Matic is, because Matic just isn't fit enough to play more than like once every 3 weeks. And Bailly isn't injury-free enough to play more than once every 3 weeks. The best ability is availability. If you can be consistent in your selection, you can begin to become consistent in your performance. And both of those two, and Juan Mata's not getting out of this either, by the way. Juan Mata's probably needs moving on. He is not currently a productive member of the squad. And when you look around the Manchester United squad, there's far too many people. And you can include Donny in that. And you can think whether he should deserve his chance or he doesn't deserve his chance. The fact is, the raw fact is, he does not play. Whether it's not selected or not available for less selection or isn't fit enough for selection, whichever of those it is, and I'm putting no opinion on this whatsoever, the fact is he doesn't play. Same with Anthony Martial. And currently the same with Paul Pogba as well. Currently out injured, but has missed somewhere in the region of 200 Manchester United games in his United career. That's mental. The fact is these players are not available anywhere near enough for United. And if you want players that are going to do well for you, you have to have that availability. John O'Shea's got like 400 and some United appearances because he was ready and available. And he wasn't world class, Megan Figo aside, but he was there and he would put in a consistent performance. You could trust him. Paddy Evra never really got injured. You can trust him. Players that are just there for you all the time and you can trust them are worth their weight in gold. And players that are never available for you, they're a pain in the ass. So Eric Bailly to AC Milan doesn't feel like there's a hell of a lot in that at the moment, so I'll give it a 2 out of 10. But I can see him being someone that United want to shift on at some stage. And I think there's more to come on these ones, and we'll keep an eye on them and keep you updated as and when we can. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.